Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me this month. It's Scorpio season, and this reading is for fire signs for Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. For the month of November, Scorpio season, this reading is for you. Fire signs. Let's see what the month of November has in store for you. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Remember to check your sun, moon, and rising, as we are complex individuals. So it's good to check in with all our elements. So again, this is for anyone with a sun, moon, or rising sign in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. We're going to take a look at what's going on with you for the month of November. And remember to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. All right. So you're going to start the month off with the Seven of Wands into the Star. Ooh, into the Ten of Coins or Pentacles. Sorry, I use a bunch of different decks, and sometimes it's Pentacles, sometimes it's Coins, and this is the Rider-Waite deck for any of you that are curious, and that they refer to as Pentacles in this deck. So then followed by the Four of Wands into the Three of Swords, into the Eight of Cups, into the Queen of Wands, into the Four of Pentacles. Finishing off your month, fire signs. So let's take a look here. We start off the month with the Seven of Wands. So I think you're going to start off this month really busy. Wands represent work, career, and how you express your energy into the universe. So then the Seven of Wands is definitely you're working it. Fire signs, got a lot going on the beginning of the month, and it might feel a bit like overload at times. That the end of October moving into the very beginning of November, what I'm hearing is you're going to get pulled in a lot of different directions, but it's all good. It just is going to feel overwhelming that beginning of November, okay? But just know that it's all in alignment. It's just there might be some challenges that pop up that first week of November, the very beginning of November, possibly from the last couple of days of October, that are going to really need your attention, going to need you to pay attention to detail. This is also, keep in mind, we go into a Mercury retrograde on October 31st is when it officially starts. So this might really be the beginning of that, just dotting every I, crossing every T, being very detail oriented so that no big mistakes are made, or, just catching all the little details, because that's what really, if those little details aren't in order and are not in alignment, it could really trip you up or come back to bite you in the butt later on. So even though you might feel really overwhelmed with work and with things coming your way the beginning of November, just take the time to make sure you're doing everything correctly, okay? Because right after that, we move into a major arcana card, which is the Star. And the Star is really about things are going to kind of balance out once, where you might feel really overwhelmed in the beginning of the week. By the end of that week, things are going to start to kind of see the Star has these two pitchers of water here, And it's about being able to give and to receive and balancing that give and that receive. So as much as you gave the beginning of October, those first couple of days, I think you're going to see some immediate return, and you're going to be able to receive just as much as you've given right away, which is great. So whatever you're putting out there, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, keep doing it, because things are really balancing. You're able to, really, what you're doing, what you're putting out there is nourishing so many people that you're going to feel that in return, says the star at the end of the first week of November. So that's great, fire signs. And then to start the week, the second week of November, you have the 10 of coins right there. So whatever you were doing, whatever challenges you were facing that very first couple of days of November, you're going to see things start to even out, and then you're really going to see some things come to blossom, some full blossom, like big things coming to fruition the beginning of the second week of November. Maybe some things that you have been working on creating or attracting into your life or manifesting, whatever word you want to use. I think you're going to see that really come into play the beginning of the second week of November. So if there's been some things that you've been really working towards or dreaming or wishing that were going to happen, the star, or the 7 of Wands into the star into the 10 of Pentacles, is really indicating that these things are going to really come through for you the second week of November. It could be a big check that you've been waiting for, or something along that lines, a big gift, but big in the way of financial abundance, or a big gift, something along those lines is coming in the very beginning of the second week of November for you fire signs. That's great. And that week is followed up by the 4 of Wands, which is about community, coming together, really seeing things from a perspective of gratitude, which is really great. Maybe some of that windfall that comes in the beginning of the second week of November is going to lead to celebrations by the end of the second week of November. But it's really being able to share the fruits of your labor with your community, with your friends, with your family, having gratitude for what you've been able to accomplish, getting really, again, remember, we're really full swing into Mercury retrograde here. So what I'm getting is also taking time to review the past couple of months, take into consideration things from the last time we were in Mercury retrograde, okay? And what that looked like and how it looks now. And also really thinking about and preparing for 2020. This is the time during Scorpio season and during this Mercury retrograde to really regroup, to relax, to rethink, re-strategize, anything retrograde is all about the so that's really going to come in by the end of the second week of November, and I think that you're going to be able to also celebrate and be surrounded by the people that mean the most to you at the end of the month, or at the end of the second week. And that's actually so that's going to be great. That's going to feel really good. But coming in the third week, the beginning of the third week of November, we have the 3 of Swords. So what I'm hearing is challenges in the heart, challenges in possibly the love relationships, or things that are really near and dear to your heart. But what it's going to do, it's going to really cause these heart challenges are going to really bring your focus to your heart. Again, remember, we're in Mercury retrograde, so really being introspective and reflective about what doesn't feel so good in there anymore for you, fire signs. What's time to go? What is on its way out as far as things that have been very heartfelt for you? Is it a relationship that needs to come to an end? Is it toxic people that you no longer need to be in relationship with? It could be the end of a project that's really meant quite a lot to you, or something that you've really poured a lot of your heart into, that could be coming to a close. It might just not be the best option for you anymore. It might be draining your bank account. It might not be healthy for you. It might be taking too much time away from your personal life or things like that. So that beginning of the third week of November, you're going to experience some challenges in your heart space. So, and that is also going to bring up some emotional stuff with the Eight of Cups right after that, which really makes sense, especially in this Mercury retrograde energy. What I really feel like this is, I know I said it could be anything heartfelt, such as a project that you've been working on, creative endeavors, but I really feel like for a lot of fire signs, this is going to be in the department of romantic relationship. And really what, taking into consideration fire signs, what is the healthiest option for you and everyone else concerned? Are you guys really, really good for each other? Is this a relationship where you're evolving together and growing together? Or is this a relationship where you're growing apart and it's something that just really needs to come to a close? And in this Mercury retrograde energy, you're going to end up retreating at the end of that second week, or the end of the third week of November. You need some space and some time to yourself to really think about and reflect on this relationship or this chapter coming to a close in your personal life, or like I said, it could be a project or something that's really heartfelt, but I really am getting the feeling that this is in the area of relationship, and especially romantic relationships, so, or really important relationships. But it's going to drive you into a more solitary space the end of the third week of November, just to give yourself some time to heal, some time to reflect, some time to review what just happened or what's been unfolding, and maybe the best course of action for everyone, and coming to that decision that third week of November. And being able to express yourself in a way that is speaking your truth, and in a way that feels good for you. And that also is, I know fire signs, you can be a little bit a little bit edgy with your communication, and I only know this because I am a fire sign. I'm an Aries sun, I'm a Sagittarius rising, and I'm a Leo moon. So this really is, I really resonate with this myself. So taking the end of this Mercury retrograde to really go within and understanding what it is that is a healthy shift, and how to communicate in a really integrity, that's the word that keeps coming forward, how to communicate in integrity for you and for the other people involved. So but taking space the end of the third week of November is really appropriate for you. And you don't have to, I'm hearing that you'll come to a decision, but it doesn't have to be hasty. You know, give yourself some time and some space to really evaluate what that decision is going to be for you. Because by the beginning of the fourth week of November, you have the Queen of Wands here, fire signs, and that means you're going to really be back in the seat of your power again, maybe after retreating at the end of that third week, says the Eight of Cups. The Queen of Wands is back in the game, and she's ready to speak her truth. She's ready to face things head on. Nothing really frightens the Queen of Wands. She's also a positive force. The Queen of Wands is a very diplomatic and very positive force. So use that energy, fire signs, of the Queen of Wands that's here to support you when expressing yourself the beginning of the fourth week of November, okay? And you're going to close this month off, fire signs, with the Four of Pentacles. Heading into December, And the beginning of this week is now, let's see, so we just came out of Scorpio season, so we'll be moving into Sagittarius. This final week of November is Sagittarius season, so we're back in our element here. Sagittarius is a fire sign, so we have fire supporting us, so it makes sense that the Queen of Wands would show up at the beginning of our sign of fire is here to support us. It's here to help us. This Mercury retrograde is just going to be finishing up. We're going to start feeling empowered once again. And also, you're going to have money on your mind the end of November. To start off Sagittarius season, you're going to have saving, balancing your finances, getting everything in order, thinking about 2020, and already getting things in alignment. We're getting really close to 2020 now, so maybe getting things in order for your taxes, making things are good, making sure things are ready to go for when tax season hits, making appointments, things like that. Just really having your finances and saving, especially, on your mind consistently that end of November. And it also makes sense going into December. We're starting to hit the holidays. We're starting to hit a lot of celebrations. We just came through the Thanksgiving holiday here as Scorpio season ends and into the beginning of Sagittarius season. So it makes sense that fire signs, you would really be thinking about how your money or keeping your money in balance, keeping things in check, knowing where everything is going, and not doing a lot of frivolous spending the beginning of December, thinking really rationally about your finances and preparing yourself financially for 2020. Okay? So let's just take a quick review, fire signs. You have a very busy month of November ahead of you, so you're going to really be in the thick of things when it comes to your career and your work and how you're expressing your energy at the very beginning of November. So try not to get too overwhelmed, but just know that's all in the name of positive growth and expansion when it is coming to your career or how you're expressing your energy out there in the world, okay? At the end of that week, we have the star, which is really supporting fire signs to find that balance within your career and actually just not even just in your career, maybe it's work, play, balance, but giving and receiving and understanding that as much as you've given, especially the beginning of November, that those first couple of days of November, you're going to be going hard. So balancing that the end of that week and remembering to receive as much as you give, okay, fire signs? And the second week of November, you're going to start off with the 10 of Pentacles, which is great. There's some money or something really coming to fruition. All the seeds that you've been planting for 2019, I really think you're going to start to feel things blossom. Like I said, it could be a possible financial gift or big gift like that coming in for you the beginning of the second week of November, which is fantastic, fire signs. Congratulations. You deserve it. You've been working hard. So attract that money. Allow yourself to draw that into you because it makes sense you're working on that right before that at the end of the second week of November, of really being in balance with allowing yourself to receive as much as you give. So there it goes. It comes right in that beginning of the second week of November. That's going to also allow for some celebratory times, getting together with your community and those that you love, the end of the second week of November. Which the third week, here's that Three of Swords that we were talking about, and something close to your heart is wrapping up. It could be a number of things, but I really feel like fire signs, this is in the department of romantic love or relationships coming to a close. And the end of that week, just really taking some time to yourself to process that And this is going to be right around the Thanksgiving holiday if you're in the US. So you could find yourself surrounded by a lot of people, a lot of different energies. Just remember to take some time for yourself so that you can process what you're going through and be honest with your own heart and what's going on with you, okay? And harnessing the closeout of that Mercury retrograde, and as we also close out Scorpio season. And it makes sense that this final push here is happening at the end of Scorpio season because Scorpio is water, and water is all about the emotions of things. And we're about to shoot on into Sagittarius season, which I was saying earlier is fire, and now we're in our element. Makes sense the Queen of Wands has shown up. We're feeling ourselves again. We're feeling empowered, and we're ready to speak our truths in a very diplomatic way. And that's the end of the final week of November, the beginning of that week, and then we move to the close of that week, which is the Four of Pentacles. Again, having money on your mind, saving, preparing for 2020, getting things in order, and really being aware of how you're spending, where the money is going, and what you have coming in. So it's all about saving that 10 of coins or 10 of Pentacles that came in the second week of November, and not spending frivolously, and really being balanced about your decisions when it comes to money, and being very, very like planning for the future, thinking ahead, thinking about budgeting and projecting what you're gonna need for 2020 as well. So I want to thank you guys all for joining me. That reading again was for fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. If you liked this reading, I have more in-depth readings just by your astrological sign, not the astrological element, over on my Patreon page for a small patron donation of $8 a month, which is about the cost of a fancy cup of coffee. Every month you'll have access to all 12 of my videos per astrological sign on Patreon, and I included that link right below in the comment section of this video. So go check out my Patreon page if you like this video and this reading, and if you would like a one-on-one session for yourself, I do that as well. I do tarot readings and I do spirit calls. Tarot readings are where the magic really happens, and I'm able to look at your past, present, and future, and I'm able to clear energy for you. I'm able to look at your past lifetimes and speak with your guides, and really use all of my clairvoyant abilities to the extent of their abilities in my full tarot readings. But I totally understand sometimes you don't need a full tarot session and you just want to talk about something, get some advice, or get something off your chest. And that's why I also launched spirit calls, which are half the price of tarot readings, and we just talk about whatever you would like to talk about, and then at the end of the call I pull one tarot card for you. So I really have something for everybody. And you can always reach me through my website at www.tarot, T-A-R-O-T, by B-Y, Megan, M-E-G-A-N.com. So thanks again for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next month. Bye.